Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and here on this channel I ramble with articulation, I hope, about a variety of different musical video and audio elements that I pull out of the videos I watch. Today we are coming back to Voctave, and more specifically we are coming to Sleigh Ride, which I think has got to be one of the most quintessential holiday songs that goes around now. It's absolutely magnificent, immediately evocative of sort of, you know, the middle of winter, and extraordinary sort of how much this is a part of society at this time of year. You really can't. It's kind of like Whamageddon with Last Christmas. You can't really go that far without hearing Sleigh Ride at least once a day, I would say. It was an amazing piece of music written in 1940-something. 7, maybe, by Leroy Anderson as a piece of orchestral music, and performed for the first time in '49 by the Boston Pops Orchestra. And the next year, 1950, a guy called Marshall Parish added lyrics, and that became the song that we all know. But it was originally orchestral. And of course it's been covered by a multitude of people. I think the Ronettes version is probably the most famous cover, although question mark on that. It's done extremely well for itself. It's charted in the top 10 in a variety of countries. Australia, New Zealand, I know a couple of places in Europe. It also made it to number 8 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and number 7 on the US Holiday 100, which is incredible. And it's gold in several countries, and then it's got a couple of platinums as well, including, I think, triple platinum in the US. It's extremely highly regarded. I think that's what I'm getting at with this. Pardon me, I've got hiccups. Of course, right as I start recording. But yeah, it's a wonderful piece of music. If you know the name Leroy Anderson, incidentally, he's famous for several different pieces. I think this is probably the biggest, but he wrote The Typewriter. If you've ever seen that piece with somebody playing a typewriter on stage in time with an orchestra, that was him. Fiddle Faddle, he was good on entertaining names. Plink Plank Plunk was one of his. And actually another one that's fairly famous was The Syncopated Clock, which you might not know the name of, but it was the theme song for The Late Show on CBS for 20-something years. If you remember the old intro, I say the old intro, I don't watch it, it might still be the intro, but there was like a black outline of buildings and the lights slowly turned off, and there was a very sort of a piece with a very steady tick going that was playing over the top. That is The Syncopated Clock by Leroy Anderson. So, fairly well known, to put it mildly. Before I jump into this video, I also want to say you might notice my setup is fractionally different for this video and maybe a couple of others coming up. I'm hoping it's short term. One of my monitors died, so I normally do this with 2 monitors. I have just down in front of me, or slightly below my eyeline, I have the video that I'm watching, and slightly above it I have the recording software. That second monitor has died, so I'm doing everything off one monitor right now, so this will be an interesting experiment. And if there are points where the video up here is blanked out, like I've covered it with a block of color, that will be because I'm switching back to my recording software, and it will show that the video of me within a video of me within a video of me, like infinite loop thing. And so I will cover that up just so that that doesn't play with anybody's eyes. Yeah. I think there's not a lot more I have to say on this one, I don't think. You know, I imagine most people watching this know Sleigh Ride. If you don't, you're in for a treat. Please do check the description below before you watch this video, where you will find the link to Voctave's channel and to this video specifically. And do watch that. Do support them. And I think that's everything. So I will say welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. If it is, the way I work is I go from beginning to end of the video, watching it straight through, commenting and emoting over the top of it, and then I will go back and watch it a second time, this time pausing, interrupting, and offering what commentary and analysis I feel I can, based on what I've just seen and heard, and the foreknowledge of having seen it the one time before. If you're just in this for the reaction, the first quarter or so of this video will probably be good for you. Please do hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, and if you would care to support the channel, you can do so by heading to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, or you can leave a super thanks here on YouTube. Any of those would be gratefully appreciated, should you choose to do so. I think that's it. So without any further delay, I'm going to introduce my first blanked out video as I bring up the display and switch to the right window, and we will jump in on Voctave's rendition of Sleigh Ride. Ooh, hello, Kate. I love the sort of very instrumentally introduction.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling, ting. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Oh, I like the harmony construction's really interesting.
Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show.
Ooh.
We're riding in a wonderland of snow. Giddy up, it's grand. Just holding your hand. We're gliding along with the song of a wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy, cozy are we.
Oh, I can never get over how tight Voctave is. This harmony is incredible. EJ rocking the blonde, I like that.
There's a birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray. It'll be the perfect ending of a perfect
I like holding those notes on. That's cool.
Without a single stop at the fireplace while we watch the chestnuts pop.
Ooh.
That's
nice. I like that a lot.
When they pass around the coffee and the pumpkin pie, it'll nearly be like a picture print by Courier and I. These wonderful things are the things we remember all through our lives. Just hear those sleigh bells jingle.
Woohoo! Hello. Oh, I love this change. The tempo shift down. Oh.
It's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside, the snow is falling and friends are calling you.
That's beautiful. Nice.
It's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with. Sleigh ride together with.
Wow.
The weather is great, so I'll go on a sleigh ride with you.
Lovely stuff. Oh. Okay, I'm going to stop that because I haven't heard it. I'll probably come to that at some point. Ooh, that's gorgeous. I really, really like that. What a beautiful piece of music and so well realized by them, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest, of course. But they did some really, really cool stuff in that. That use of tempo, shifting down and having it in hard, because this is a piece that everybody thinks of as that it's very, very much a kind of bump da dum da dum. It's got that bounce to it. And taking that out temporarily was a lovely move. Really changed it up, pulled you in. It's kind of schmaltzy in a really, really lovely way. Those beautiful harmonies that Voctave is so good at across 11 people. It's just wonderful stuff. And Jamey never ceases to amaze me what he does with these arrangements. And every singer in this group, it's so clear. I think what amazes me, and this is a mark of great a cappella groups, every singer in the group is clearly pulling their weight, and yet they do it in a way that blends in so perfectly. Yes, you have Kate sailing over the top. I assume if we're going in order across the screen, that was Aaron at the bottom. That would be pretty typical to arrange your group so that high is on one side and low is on the other. So at the bass stand, Aaron was on the outside, so my assumption would be he was the bass that was singing those really low notes, although, having heard Carl in the Villains medley, Heroes medley, it could have been any one of them, but I would assume the layout was indicating it was Aaron. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, yeah, they stand out a little bit because they're at the extremes, but the amount of harmony and the depth of the harmony that's happening in between, it's just all just so smooth together. And the fact that those moments can stand out at the extremes, but not in a way that makes them feel out of place, is a testament to how well this group fits together. I've always thought that. I've commented on it before, but not maybe in that term. Let's go back and watch that again. And I feel like there's going to be a lot to pull out here, because that was extraordinary. Actually, first things first, I love that we've just got this kind of very casual, and Voctave's good at this. They make something look casual and not casual at the same time. These videos in the studio, in this case on a stage, there's an odd simplicity to it. It's not like they have set or anything like that. It's just the stands and the microphones and them doing their thing, which is all they need. And yet it has this sense of sort of full-on professionalism about it, even though it's not a produced music video. Well, it is a produced music video, but it's not like it has a ton of post-production and visual effects or anything like that. Like, it's quite Spartan, and yet it feels more than that. Does that make sense? I hope I know what I'm talking about. And I love the fact that everybody's just wearing either a combination of sort of winter gear or, holiday party gear, maybe. Just looking at what EJ's wearing right now, it doesn't look like it's desperately toasty. It's a nice blend on stage of what everybody's wearing, and I like that. And then this bright blue behind is a really nice, cool color. Kind of gives you that evocation of winter and snow and cold, but without being cold. Like, it doesn't... It's not sort of a huge stark contrast in any way, which I think you could easily get wrong. It would be very easy to make that too cold and make it sort of almost draw the colour out slightly. But this is actually popping the colour really, really nicely. I love that slow build throughout that, and it's what I think I enjoy about the construction that we have here is because Kate only goes up at the end there, we have this lovely... Sure, there's some breadth in that, but you can hear where it's sitting, and then the basses go down, everyone else is more or less where they were, so we're expanding downwards. We're still expanding downwards. No one else is... Kate's coming through slightly stronger at this point. I don't know if that's a mixing thing or if she's just projecting slightly more as she goes through this. I feel like she comes through a little bit more at that point, but we're not expanding up yet. We're just expanding down. It's only when we get that ba from Kate at that point in time, which I think... She was actually singing the ba ba. She was actually here beforehand, and then goes ba. So she actually comes down to go back to where she was. But the simple fact that she slides up at that point draws our attention to the fact that something is now going up, and then she carries on. And it's just such a lovely motion there to go up after feeling like there was that slow descent to suddenly like jump faster. It's not fast, but faster than the basses were going down. She takes off and goes up. There's a really nice counterpoint there in what the sort of two extremes are doing, and it pulls this arrangement wider, even though I think the harmonies in the middle are staying mostly the same throughout. And that's really, really nice. I think that's great use of the breadth that having 11 people in your group can offer to give us that really strong core, but then take us down and take us up. And I will never not be amazed by what Kate can do. And that lovely and as she sails back up there, it just makes it look so easy. Like, I look at her doing that, and I should be able to do that. It looks so simple. Of course it's not. Like, she has an extremely high voice. It probably is easier for her. But the fact that she portrays it with such sort of lightness, not just in her voice, but in how she goes about singing that, is extraordinary. It's quite wonderful. This I love too, the construction of the harmony that's underneath here. Beautiful chord at this point in time. We come down to singing in parallel unison. So everybody's singing the same note but in different octaves. And now we go back into a more complicated chord than the one we just left. We go back up to more or less the same register, give or take. But the chord itself is a little bit crunchier, and that's really, really nice.
Just hear those sleigh.
That's a lovely use there of the jingling, that ch sound. Is a great, if you sit there and just do a ch 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 ch, it doesn't sound like sleigh bells, but it gives you it evokes sleigh bells. And I think the fact that they've done that, they've these bright sounds, jingling, jing, jing, and they're not hanging around on, it's not jingling, jing, jing, jingling, jing, jing. They come off the consonant very, very quickly onto the I and the ing, those sounds, and so they're keeping everything bright, which is really, really nice.
Jingling, jing, jingling, jingling, jing, jing. Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling, jingling, jing.
And again, the guys come in, and we have this fascinating thing.
Just hear those sleigh bells.
So just hear those in unison. Sleigh bells, we bring in the harmony.
Jingling, ring, ting, tingling, ting.
Ring, ting, and then I think is it tingling?
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling, ting.
Yeah, tingling too is in unison again. Or is it just the a-ling too? But regardless, that drop in of the harmony that then pulls itself back out very naturally at a point where the melody has dropped down to the note that the harmony was singing. Really, really smart use there. It kind of allows that harmony to feel like it's a very simple diversion and return. It's not like it's completely separate from the melody line that the tenors are singing. It's just dropping out of it and just merging back in with it again a little bit later. That's so clean. I really like that. There's also something cool going on in the harmony the ladies are singing.
Jingling, jing, jingling, jingling, jing, jing.
That jing-a-ling, jing-jing-a-ling, jing-a-ling, jing-jing-a-ling. Really, really nice movement there. We're starting out on the ba, 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 ba. That's our perfect fifth. Or our fifth of the chord. And then climbing up, bum, bum, ba. That's our major seventh. So if you carried on going up, ba, 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 that's a semitone or a half step below our tonic. So that's that really crunchy minor second blend there that gives us that kind of ooh feeling when it's against the tonic in any way.
Jingling, jing, jingling, jingling, jing, jing. Just hear the.
So you can hear we get a little bit crunchy when we get up to that note, and then we come back out of it. And so there's this lovely kind of in and out of a very subtle dissonance with that sort of alto line that's climbing and dropping down again. Really nice stuff.
Sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling, jingling, jing. Come on, it's lovely when the four sleigh ride together with jingling, jing. Outside.
And notice the chord we hit on you.
Come on, it's lovely when the four sleigh ride together with jingling.
You.
Come on, it's lovely when the four sleigh ride together with jingling, jing.
Yeah, that's jing-a-ling, jing, 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 jing-a-ling, jing-a-ling. I can't actually hear if the major seventh is in there or not.
Come on, it's lovely when the four sleigh ride together with jingling.
That chord is so interesting because it's not what you expect to be coming in there. It is finished in the sense that the melody line has landed on the tonic. Together with you. That's our tonic note right there. But the chord that's underneath it says we're not done. We've got more places to go in a really interesting way.
Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Jingling, jing. Come on, it's lovely when the four sleigh ride together with jing, 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 jingling.
And you can hear there we do jing, 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 jing. Ah, yes. So we have gone to the minor seventh there. That was much clearer.
But it's lovely when the four sleigh ride together with jing, 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 jingling.
Jing, jing, jing. We've gone jing-a-ling, jing, jing-a-ling, jing-a-ling, jing, jing-a-ling, ding-a-ling, jing, jing-a-ling, jing, Jing, jing. We're coming back down, so rather than going from the 5th to the 6th to the 7th to the 6th and repeating that, we end up going from the 5th to the 6th to the minor 7th to the minor 6th. Da, 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 da. Which gives us that kind of... It's a slightly melancholic descent, almost, except it resolves so cleanly out that you don't feel that. And it's really, really beautiful use of harmony at that point.
Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Oh. Sleigh ride together with jing, 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 jingling. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go.
And I really like, again, we bring in the ladies, but we don't bring them in full force, totally separate section. We have the giddy up, the guys come back in with giddy up, and then we blend everything in together. And that's a really, really nice thing, partly because it gives you a sense of variety, which is always a good thing. But it also... It's that same thing where the basses dropped out and came back in with the tenors. By having a line from the ladies, then a line from the gents, then a line together, we naturally bring everything in as a unit, rather than the ladies taking off doing their own thing and everything comes together later. This is a natural kind of progression, rather than like a total step. It's more of a slide into the new sort of arrangement that we've got going on here, and I really like that choice.
Jing, 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 jingling. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show.
Oh, that's interesting too. Let's look at the show. Down to the minor 7th there in the basses. Again, what they're doing is so much of this is the chord progression that has been written, and then they slide out of it into something beautiful that really suits a vocal arrangement and the style of modern a cappella. And I really like that because there's so much tribute to the original style of how this was written in the 40s, but it's also very, very much set in like the 2020s as well, and that's really, really nice.
Giddy up, let's go. Let's look at the show. We're riding in a wonderland of snow. Giddy up.
Little things too, like that, the resolution on snow there, the little melisma on the, where are we going on that?
We're riding in a wonderland of snow.
Snow. Lovely, that's really, really nice. We get a second to a third there. It's a sus2 chord, essentially, that resolves up to the third at that point in time. And that's a really, really nice thing because it brightens the sound out a little as we come out of it.
Oh, we're riding in a wonderland of snow.
It's a really, really nice shift there. We land beautifully on that snow, the 5th there. We land beautifully on that, and then take the chord that we landed on and elevate it very slightly. There's a lot happening here to kind of keep this very light arrangement, even as the harmony is quite thick, and that's really nice.
Oh, we're riding in a wonderland of snow. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, it's grand, just holding your hand. We're gliding along with the song of a wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice and
Lovely use there of vocalization as well in what the guys are doing underneath the ladies moment there.
gliding along with the song grand, just holding your hand.
So up to that, just holding your hand, they're doing exactly what they did the last time, just down that, it's a tone I think, shifting between those two lines.
We're gliding
And then we go into this ooh underneath that allows that you get the sense that the ladies are gliding over the top of the men because of the way that they've arranged that, which is really, really nice.
along with the song of a wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are
And there we have that shift out through the things.
We're gliding along with the song of a wintry fairyland.
Really, really nice use there. Ooh, do, do, wah. The bringing in the two doos. One, they're half the length of the oohs that just happened. Two, you get that very, very faint hint of a percussive sound with the do, do, wah. And then that wah is quite brassy. It's quite sort of, it's a big opening from ooh to do to wah. It's a big change in mouth shape, it's a big change in the resonance that's being used at that moment in time, and in the vowel sound that's being produced. But we're leading to it by picking up the tempo of the bass line and adding in that little percussive d on the beginning of the sounds that are being made there. So that's a really, really nice shift. I like that a lot.
We're gliding along with the song of a wintry fairyland.
And how clean and tight are the ladies at that point in time singing that line. Ba 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 ba. What? I lost it. I play this a lot on the piano, and that's sort of shifting a lot up and down a broken arpeggio, effectively, and they are so tight on that. You'd be forgiven if you listen to it quickly. You'd almost be forgiven for thinking it's one voice, and that's really, really good unison singing.
And we're gliding along with a song of a wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy, cozy are we. We're snuggled up together like two birds of a...
Now there's a nice shift. I didn't pick that up the first time.
With a song of a wintry fairyland. Our cheeks are nice and rosy and comfy, cozy are we.
Oh, you know what? It's not even a shift. I think they've just either mixed or the basses are singing fractionally quieter, because I feel like, or maybe it's because we're coming back down from being a little higher. I feel like that the bass sort of drop there to create the harmony in that line isn't as obvious in that particular phrase, and in this next one it comes back in a little bit stronger again. Maybe that's just an optical or oral illusion.
Come on, it's lovely weather for Sleigh Ride together with there's a birthday party.
Really, really nice. And it's just, everything is so clean. Everything is so clean. The ladies are doing the jing-a-ling, jing-jing-a-ling, jing-a-ling. Like, that doesn't necessarily match up with what's being done. Like, they're doing something that is different, but they're not blocking each other, the men and the ladies. They're doing two different consonant pronunciations, two different rhythmic constructions, and yet they just merge so beautifully. And that's one of the things that I think Voctave does so very, very well.
There's a birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray.
Now that's such a lovely thing, because if you listen to the original of this, da 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 da, bum bum, and there's often a whip, an orchestral whip, which, if you've never seen one, it's essentially two long blocks of wood that are hinged at one end, and you clap it together like an alligator mouth, and it gives you that snap sound. So you da 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 bum bum bum, bum, bum. It would be what you'd get with an orchestra usually, and so I love the fact that rather than doing it, they hold that through Father Brown instead of Father Brown. Really, really nice change there. I think that's really smart for what they're doing with their arrangement.
There's a birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray.
Father Brown, Farmer Gray. Maybe I've been watching Captain Scarlet recently. I've just got colours stuck in my head.
It'll be the perfect ending of a perfect day.
Lovely there, the perfect day being held on again, but what the men do here. This is so good.
There's a birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray.
I don't think they change note throughout that entire one, that for whole phrase. Birthday for farm. Birthday party at the home of Farmer Gray. They just stay on one note, and then you get this.
It'll be the perfect ending of a
Be the perfect ending of a... That lovely descending line there is so good.
Farmer Gray. It'll be the perfect ending of a perfect day.
It's so lovely because I think...
It'll be the perfect ending of a...
Yeah, they break out into harmony eventually, but starting out in unison, it's just a simple descending line underneath, and you don't have to worry about, because it is unison, you don't have to worry about harmonic clashing as you descend through chords, because you're just descending through a line and then they add the harmony in. Oh, that is so well done.
A perfect day. We'll be singing the songs we love to sing without a single stop.
Again, this lovely build up to that section. You have...
We'll be singing the songs we love to sing without a single stop.
You already have a slow rise. We'll be singing the songs we love to sing. Singing the songs we love to sing without a single stop. There's a rise there through those high notes as we gradually pull that melody up. But then what the guys do underneath it as well, Jamey's killing this arrangement. He always does, but...
We'll be singing the songs we love to sing without a single stop.
That ooh stop. Again, ooh, full length, let's say. Ooh, each one of those notes half the length of the previous one, and then the stop. And that's where we get that break, that cut-off that we'd normally get with the Farmer Gray. Who's Father Brown, and why on earth am I trying to sing about him? That's just beautiful construction. Beautiful construction. I love it.
We'll be singing the songs we love to sing without a single stop at the fireplace while we watch the chestnuts pop.
That's great. That's so good, because it's such an enhancement on what's usually there.
We'll stop at the fireplace while we watch the chestnuts pop.
Bop, bop, bop is what you'd normally get. And then you just carry on. But they build it out into this amazing broken arpeggio going throughout this whole thing. This is so wonderful.
Without a single stop at the fireplace while we watch the chestnuts pop.
Oh, so good. I think you could even... Is that...
While we watch the chestnuts pop.
You could actually watch the pop, 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 pop going across the choir as we go up from the low singing. I don't know if it's exactly in order, but you can see the mouths singing pop as we go across the line of the choir, which I love that. That's great. No, it's not quite, because Jamey comes in earlier than Drew or EJ, I think. But you do generally get the kind of Mexican wave effect there as the pops cross everybody. And it's just really lovely seeing that they're literally building that harmony up, not by reusing somebody else later. They're using the full weight of an 11-person group to give you 11-part harmony. Lovely.
There's a happy feeling nothing in the world can buy when they pass around the coffee and the pumpkin pie.
Oh, that note on pumpkin. Was that there the first time? I'm not sure, but the pumpkin pie.
They pass around the coffee and the pumpkin pie.
That's so lovely. That there's an extra lift in there that you just don't quite expect. And again, they're doing so much to just keep this arrangement. Even as the men are mostly descending, there's a lift in their line that pulls the arrangement up a little bit and keeps it light. They never, even with the oohs are gentler, so it doesn't feel like it. But there's no point in this where it ever feels like it's getting heavy. And I love that so much.
It'll nearly be like a picture print by Courier and I. These wonderful things are the things we remember all through our lives.
That's an interesting one as well.
These like a picture print by Courier and I. These wonderful things are the things we remember all through our lives.
Very, very simple parallel unison there. Da 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 da, and then they're both together, and it's all of that is on the same note. And it's so simple, but because you flip from ladies to men and then again bring everybody in, just like we did with the beginning of the Giddy Ups, it gives us a sense of motion, even though everybody's singing the same note, just in their own register at the moment that they come in. And I really, really like that, because I think it's a line... Even a single phrase in a song that stays on the same note runs the risk of becoming monotonous. It's surprising how quickly that can kick in 2 seconds if you feel like it's not going anywhere. And so I love that for this arrangement you have that little bit of ping pong between the two registers. Really, really nice work.
These wonderful things are the things we remember all through our...
There's a moment in every single Voctave song, more than one usually, but there is always one where Tiffany makes me laugh. And I love her expression here as she comes back in again after the guys have sung.
These wonderful things are the things we remember all
And we're back in again. I love that. That's great. She always looks like she's having they all look like they're enjoying themselves, but Tiffany always looks like she's having the best time.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingle.
I love that choice.
Just hear those sleigh.
You almost expect it to be just hear those sleigh bells ringing and ba ba ba. You expect it to go there because that's what this song does. And the choice to bring it back in tempo and give us this schmaltz at this point in time is so good. I love it.
We remember all through our lives, just hear those sleigh bells jingling.
Oh, even...
Just hear those sleigh bells.
Even you can hear Kate there, sleigh bells. I'm exaggerating, but the bells. She slides up on bells, and it's just even there. We've pulled it back into a more jazzy, slidey, fluid place. It's not sleigh bells. Very clean, of course, but this suits that feel. Oh.
Our lives, just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too.
I actually forgot to mention rhythm at the very, very beginning of the song. They did something like a just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too. They pushed that ring, ting, ting, whereas it would normally be just hear those sleigh bells ringling, ting, ting, ring, ting, tingling too. Like it would be sat on the same rhythm. That little push was nice, but here...
Jingling, ring, ting, ting.
Sleigh bells jingling, ring, dun, 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 dun. Making that... Is that a triplet?
Sleigh bells jingling, ring.
Yeah, they made it into a triplet. It took me a second because of the tempo change as well. Sleigh bell... Triplet is when you get 3 notes happening for uniform lengths in the space of 2 notes. So you could have ba-ba-ba, and that is a 1, 2, ba-ba-ba. That's 3 notes in the space of 2, but they're not uniform lengths. Whereas it's bum 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 ba ba da da bum bum. That's a triplet. For anybody who's watching this and doesn't know music theory, I like to throw little things. If I say something, I often forget, but I try and just describe what I'm talking about in case you happen not to know. But that use of that triplet at that point is just so smooth.
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring, ting, tingling too. Come on, it's love.
Oh, that's so nice. And so I usually have the ring, ting, tingling too, and then again, come on, it's love. Those little delays on those notes, they just give us so much push and pull in these moments. That's really, really nice for this arrangement and for this song in general. This is such a smart evolution. Oh, and there, boo, come on, and ba, that lovely chromatic, ba, ba, lovely chromatic descent there for Aaron.
Come on, it's lovely
So good.
weather for a sleigh ride together with you.
Oh, and again, so much. I'm going to miss so many things in this video. Please let me know in the comments what your favorite thing is if that I did get, but also, is there something cool I miss? Because there probably is. There's so much going on. The lovely rise here.
Sleigh ride together with
Get together with such a lovely shift. Dum 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 dum. It's a beautiful rise through that, but the choice to come off after with and hold a full beat before you comes in is so nice. We've set up that idea of having gaps and late notes and things like that, and the fact that they then do such a big one. The mind's prepped for it because we've had the couple of shorter ones, and it's a lovely bit of punctuation in this.
for a sleigh ride together with you.
Oh, lovely, you. Going down there in there. Lovely moment of bass, real bass down there for a second.
Outside, the snow is falling and friends are calling you.
I love that. Da, 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 da. No, we don't do that. Da, 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 da.
And friends are calling you.
Love again. We're keeping it. Ba 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 ba. We go down. Ba 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 ba. We're keeping it up again. Levity the whole way through.
Friends are calling you. Come on.
Oh, that's actually. Yeah, that's lovely. I love that choice. Friends are calling you. We slide back up, but we slide back up without reiterating the H. That's lovely. Just the you. Lovely rise out of that without having that breathiness that the H would have given. That's actually a really nice choice. That's such a nice change. We come out of this lovely slow section, everything's feeling light, and you've had that romantic moment, and now it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride. We're back to the sleigh ride, and so boom, we pick back up again.
It's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. It's lovely weather for a sleigh ride.
That's such a smart choice because you don't know where that's going. Oh. So we've had a ba 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 bum 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 ba ba bum. It is kind of where we're going with that. They've done something different, but that's the gist of it. Bum ba 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 bum bum ba 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 bum bum is where we think we're going because we've come back in with the first half of that melody and then we don't. What the heck is happening? I mean, I know what's happening, but whoa.
It's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with.
Smart thing there. Lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with, sleigh ride together with. That repetition of that same line, and then poof, we just immediately fill it out for the third time with all the harmony that we can get in there.
Sleigh ride together with.
And what on earth is Kate doing? My goodness, I don't know what that note is, but she's in the rafters at this point.
The weather is great, so I'll go on a sleigh ride with you.
And we don't see that coming. We go into compound time for a bar.
The weather is great, so I'll go on.
So compound and simple time. Simple time. Two beats or It's an even number of beats, 2 or 4 beats in a single, or notes rather, in a single beat. Compound time. We go into a triplet form, but it's not really triplets anymore because now we're doing it in a new time signature effectively. And the way that works is we might have 4/4, for example. So 4/4 would be but or but. It's 4 quarter notes in a single bar, 4 crotchets in a single bar for my British friends, or 8 quavers. But. Compound time takes us into those triplets, so we get 12 quavers or eighth notes in a bar, hence 12/8. So 4/4, 12/8. Ba. And that's an interesting shift to use because we've had our triplet, yes, and that's kind of a foreshadowing of this moment. But it's not the same because jam is not really compound time. It's half time compound time. This picks up the speed instead of slowing it down. And that is lovely. It's so sort of unexpected, but also it makes total sense for what they're doing. It's really nice. And I love that we expect or something like that. You just go straight into you, and we get this extra lyric.
The weather is great, so I'll go on a sleigh ride with you.
That is so good! And we have this huge harmony at this point, especially once Kate goes up, the basses drop.
The weather is great, so I'll go on a sleigh ride with.
And again, the basses are going down slowly, the ladies are going up a little bit faster than that, so we're spreading our arrangement out. Hit a lovely final chord that's a little bit more condensed. The basses are a little higher, the sops have gone up to where they were kind of aiming for, but it's not crazy high. And we spread out into this super thick harmony. That's so good! Jamey is a master arranger. And listen to that sound resonate through the room until it finishes. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Oh, wow. That's holidays in a song for me. And in an arrangement too. That is quite wonderful. Momentary cut here, or blanking out or something while I change and get rid of the display. What an incredible arrangement. Voctave kills it yet again. They are so good. I have so much time for them. And they really feel like the epitome of Christmas when they do something like this. It's quite amazing. Really, really enjoyed that. I think it's one of those songs that you can do so much with. I've played a very simple piano arrangement of that. I've played a very complicated and difficult piano arrangement of that. I haven't actually ever played it in an orchestra, though I'd love to one day. You know, you can do it with a swing band. I think Anderson himself wrote a wind band iteration of it, which I might have played once. I honestly can't remember. But there's so much you can do with this, and this is such a beautiful example of how you can take it, change it a little bit, and yet it still feels like Sleigh Ride. That's really, really good. Well, bravo. Bravo. Wonderful stuff. Really, really enjoyed that. I hope you did too. I hope you enjoyed this journey with me. I don't know if I managed to bring you something new. If it's the song or Voctave, my goodness, go check them out. They're incredible. If you've heard this a bunch of times and something I said made you go, oh, that's why I like that. That's what I strive to achieve here. I just want to share my passion for music and video and things like that, and some of the things that I see, because I know people tell me things they've seen. I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, that's really cool. And that's kind of the effect I would like to have with these videos. So thank you very much, especially if you are still here at the end of this video. I really appreciate the time that you spend with me. It's much appreciated. Please do like the video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and if you would care to support the channel, you can do so with a one-off donation of any amount at buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts. You can sign up to my Patreon for $2 or $4 Canadian at patreon.com/DavidKReacts. And that's just an ongoing support right now. I say this every video because it is true. I want to do more with that, hopefully next year. But right now it's just a long-term support, and it does give you access to my Discord. And it'll put your name up at the end of the video as well, which will happen very shortly if it hasn't already. Or you could leave a super thanks here on YouTube, and any of those would be very, very gratefully appreciated. And that's about it. That's this week's video. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for joining me. I will be back next week with something else. But for now, take care. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, whatever time it is when you're watching this, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, the middle of the night if you happen to be that kind of person. I'm a night owl, so I definitely watch videos late into the night. I don't know, what should we say? Let's say 1:15 a.m. See if somebody's watching then. But yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.